Hi, this is Fredrik Aaron from Professional Speaking, and today we are going to speak about professional listening. What I mean by that? I mean that I think one of the biggest mistakes that professional speakers do is that they haven't realized that they have 1 month, one mouth, and they have 2 ears. And that means we need to listen at least twice as much as we speak. That is true for anywhere in life. That's what I teach my children. But it's mostly important when it comes to speakers. What do I mean by professional listening? I mean to constantly get new examples and stories and content by interviewing other people, other experts in the field that we are speaking on, to learn more. Now, why should we do it? Because I learned that so many speakers tend not to do this. And I don't mean this as criticism for them necessarily. I mean it that I believe that the best speakers are the ones that are much more focusing on learning more than they are at spreading their message. They say that the best way to learn is to teach, but it's equally true that the best way to teach is to learn. We constantly need to learn new things. So why should we do professional listening? Because we get to new content, new stories. I don't care how good your stories are, we can constantly get better ones, and as soon as we get one more story that might be better than all the other stories we had before, we can dish that great story for an even better stories. And more importantly, we get new insights. We might think that we know our topic, but then we interview just one more person and get a totally new insight. I've been studying creativity for 20 years, and every interview I do, I learn something new about creativity. Also very important, you stay relevant. Doesn't matter how much of a world expert you are, if you don't get new examples that are from around the world, current example of what are people thinking about right now, your examples are out of date. And you cannot be a professional speaker with out-of-date examples. Constantly stay relevant. It's also a great way to stay in touch with clients, prospects, or just people you find that you have in your network that you find interesting. Because when you reach out to them and say, hey, I would love to pick your brain and really learn from you, and you get to sit down with someone to ask them questions for an hour, people love to share their knowledge, and you connect on a much deeper level. It's also a great way to extend your network, and you can reach out to someone you have no connection to whatsoever and say, I want to interview you for my video series, for my book, for my podcast, or whatever the content is. And suddenly you sit down for an hour and they give you their deepest insights, and you become buddies, you become best friends. And that's a great way to broaden your network. But most importantly, it forces you to stay in learning mode. And that is why we need to be professional listeners. And this is a perfect time to reach out and do this research. Why? Because world experts are sitting at home, working from home, and they feel like they can take a little time off to do their normal work. Even if they're very busy, they're at home and they love to talk to someone and to just get some human connection. And thank God to Zoom, that is what we've been able to do. So I thought I went through my calendar and said, okay, so how much research did I do in the May 2020? It turns out I did 24 different interviews, every one of them being at least 1 hour. And I interviewed like world-renowned car designers, heads of innovation in some of the largest companies in the world, photographers, designers, all kinds of experts in the creative field, so that I can learn more about my topic. Why? Because I am Fredrik Aaron, the creativity explorer, and I want to learn about creativity from anyone that I can. So just in 1 month, 24 different interviews in 10 countries on 3 continents, all through Zoom, every one of them sitting at home just like me, I did, and we had these deep conversations. Every one of them at least 1 hour. I've been a professional speaker for 20 years. I've done literally thousands of interviews with people in more than 50, research in more than 50 different countries. You could easily argue, Fredrik, you don't need to do more interviews now. You know your topic. Now go out and spread your message. No, you constantly need to learn more. That's the whole idea. This is what we get paid to do, because we're always learning and then we spread our message. So 24 more interviews in last month alone. The message here is never stop doing research. Never stop interviewing people. Never stop learning. That is what it means to be a professional speaker. You have 2 ears and 1 month. Balance your work like that. That is the message today from Professional Speaking. We are not professional speakers. We are professional listeners. That's the lesson to this week. If you want to find more, you can go to professionalspeaking.com. There are 300 lessons on professional speaking and including a 5-hour online course on how to master a keynote speech, and it's all for free. Just go and get it. It's my way of giving back to the community. And every week here on LinkedIn, I post one more video on advice on professional speaking. See you next week.